great marketing campaigns against them.
Yeah. I mean, well, you figure they've made powerful, well-resourced enemies.
Yeah,
You know, who would stand to benefit from, you know, throwing shade at Greenpeace? Well, the ocean trawlers, you know, big industrial seafood, you know, a lot of those operations out of Southeast Asia with like human trafficking and, you know, a lot of these big, you know, like I said, ocean trawlers that are literally factory farms, you know, scraping the ocean dry of seafood. I mean, that's, if there's like a common...
And they throw away the ones that they don't want.
The bycatch, and the waste. I mean, if there's a common enemy that anybody who has any sort of sensibility about sustainability, even if you don't eat fish, like say you're an ethical vegan, you don't eat animals, or you're a sustainability person like yourselves who want to make sure that your seafood is sustainable, the common enemy should be these ocean trawlers and industrial scale seafood that the way they do things, man, that is what is killing the ocean, because it also puts family fisher people out of business.
Yeah.
You know, even Billy Joel sang about this like 30 years ago. It was like that song about the Long Island Sound. You know, I grew up in New York, so that was a big deal. Like these family fishers were being put out of business by the ocean trawlers, by the big industrial corporate owned, you know, private equity owned, you know, companies that would just like scrape the oceans for everything. And that's really the big concern. And now as a retailer, Whole Foods is in a, unique position at the time because folks expected stuff to be somewhat sustainable, but we couldn't always validate it, and sometimes the rhetoric outpaced the reality. And so it was my job in purchasing to make sure that we had a supply chain viability, that we understood where everything was coming from, and that we had some third party validation to back that up. And, depending on the species, it was different. Tuna, it's an ocean species, and there's different varieties. You have albacore, you have tongol, you have yellowfin, you have skipjack. I think that's it. Whatever chunk light is, I forgot. There's some different types of tuna that you see, and the different species congregate different parts of the world during different parts of the year, and that's where they're caught. And depending also on the size, that is also important relative to the mercury thing. Larger fish, what they do is bioaccumulate mercury because they're the top of the food chain. So usually the tastiest, highest fat, like the real rich. Yeah, unfortunately, those are probably the worst. They have mercury bioaccumulated in there.